Hey guys, welcome back to Maple Mickey, and today we're gonna answer the question, which Disney ticket do you need?
To all who come to this happy place, welcome. Disneyland is your land.
Hey guys, welcome back. My name is Lucas.
And I'm Lisa.
And we're Maple Mickey. We just wanna bring up the situation with Goofy's face here. We feel like the animators kind of did Goofy dirty a little bit.
They did.
We're not really a fan.
You know, all the new animation, it's so cute, and then there's Goofy.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, he
Poor
just got done dirty.
he did.
But let us know. Do you think, are we off, or is there something to that? Today we want to talk about Disney World tickets. It can be a little bit complex, especially going to Disney World. So
Yes.
we're going to probably start with Disney World. We want to help resource you to kind of unpack the whole ticket situation. What tickets do you actually need, and what are the options out there for you?
There's a lot. And then we're gonna touch on Disneyland. So if you are going to the West Coast, California, don't worry, the chapters are down below. Feel free to just head on over to our segment on Disneyland. But you're right, there are so many ticket options within a Disney World package. I mean, and that is also one thing, like, do you get them standalone or do you package them together? If you are staying on Disney property, go ahead and package them. That's always going to be the best bang for your buck. But how do you navigate which ticket you actually need when there are 4 parks, 2 water parks, Disney or Downtown Disney, and like a myriad of other things?
Golf
you
and
can
ESPN
do.
and all the things that are around
So many
there.
things that you can do on your Disney World vacation. So the first basic kind of one is that there is a 1 park per day ticket. And at the time of recording, for a 4-day ticket in August, that's gonna cost you $494.38 US. And like, fun fact, that was the cheapest price for all of 2024, which proves that if you were kind of thinking that there are slow times outside of the summer, they have all been changed. So make sure you're kind of navigating those crowd calendars for when you want to go.
Now, we like to vacation, when it comes to the Walt Disney World in particular, we like to not do the park hopper.
Yeah.
We don't see the added value of the park hopper because the property is so large, takes so much time to get between parks. So we take a day at a time, a park at a time, and that keeps the cost down a little bit. But if you're interested in a park hopper, what does that look like?
Yeah, so a park hopper is going to cost an additional $85 for those same dates, that same 4-day tickets. It's gonna be $579.38. And again, this is the cheapest time of 2024. So it's only gonna go up from there as of the time that we're recording. But we have park hopped. We spent about an hour in transit going from Hollywood Studios to Magic Kingdom. And we kind of just felt like we didn't really get a lot done at either park.
It felt like a big waste, and it wasn't very optimal with the time.
Yeah.
We didn't feel the value was there to jump between parks.
No, and I didn't really feel like we had enough time to really enjoy either park in the entirety of what's offered. Now, I understand some people will look at like their Animal Kingdom day when the park closes at 7 and go, hey, like, I would rather hop into a park that's maybe open till midnight. But for that one like situation, I just don't think that it's worth $85 extra per person. Use that money, go to have a nice meal at Downtown Disney or at one of the resorts instead. So the park hopper option is an option that we would say is probably something that's overrated. But one that's underrated, and it's not really talked about a lot, is the water park and sports option. And for that same 4-day ticket in August, it's gonna cost you an additional $70. So it'll be $564.38. So here's the list of things. Again, depending on how many days your ticket is how many visits you get to any of these things. You get a specific amount of visits. So 4-day ticket, 4 visits to the Typhoon Lagoon Water Park, or Blizzard Beach Water Park.
Now, just to give you an idea of the value on this, if you're gonna do that separately, just on your own per day, that would be $78.81 per person.
Yeah.
So remember, we're talking a $70 add-on
Per person
to your park visit package.
Yeah, but you're already saving just by visiting that once. And then that will also include your ESPN Sports Complex visit. And now, keep note, if you are a sports parent who's going to one of the tournaments or like a cheer competition or something like that, your admission is not included. It's not guaranteed. So you will have to pay an admission fee to go into that complex. With this package, it's included.
Yeah, so again, it would be $19.50 per day if you are one of those sports parents going into that ESPN center. If you're there for more than 4 days, I mean, 4 days would be $80.
Yeah.
So it makes much more sense to go this option, $70, and you get access to all these other spots as well.
Yeah, it also includes access to the Disney Oak Trail golf course and foot golf course. And now I just learned what foot golf was, and it is a 9-hole golf course with soccer balls. All of the holes are big enough for a soccer ball to fit at. Now, I don't think that I would be good at either one, at regular golf or soccer golf. But hey, if you're looking for something unique.
But maybe more family friendly than actual full-on golf.
Yeah, or you don't want to bring your golf clubs with you on a Disney vacation. But if you are a diehard golfer, I have heard that the Disney golf courses are pretty state of the art.
And then of course you have 2 different mini golf situations. And so those are gonna run you per round $14. When you consider the value of a $70 add-on for the duration of your stay, that's a pretty good value.
Yeah, you can easily, combining any of those 4 visits, pay significantly more than that if you were paying them out of pocket. So that is an add-on that if you are going for an extended trip, that we would say, hey, why not look at doing less days in the park and doing some of these other side experiences with this add-on option to your ticket.
Yeah, or maybe you've gone to Disney, this would be a new experience for you. Perhaps maybe every time you go to Disney, you're just doing the parks, and the property has so much more to offer.
Yeah.
And this would be a great way to maybe just stretch yourself outside of the norm and experience some new things.
So maybe you're sitting there and you're thinking, you know, I actually do want a park hop, but having this ticket option where I get to go to the water park sounds pretty great too. Well, Disney has thought of you, and they have given you the Park Hopper Plus option, which combines both of those 2 options, Park Hopper and the water parks and sports option. And so same thing, it'll give you 4 visits for a 4-day ticket, 5 for a 5, etc. But it's gonna be for a 4-day ticket in August and $105 markup, which is a big savings over adding those 2 things separately. You're gonna save about $50 on that specific ticket combo. So if that's something that you're thinking, like, hey, I do wanna go from Animal Kingdom and watch the fireworks at Magic Kingdom, and I do wanna do the water parks, then this is kind of a good bang for your buck.
See, and I just see that as not saving, but you're adding $35. Just get rid of the Park Hopper, add the 70. It's such a better deal.
It's a great deal. So those are your regular ticket kind of options that you have for Disney World. But there is another ticket consideration for your trip, and that is going to be the special event tickets. There are those parties. There's the Very Merry Christmas party. There's Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party, and then just debuted was Jollywood Nights, which we'll talk about in a moment. And then there are the after hour parties where different parks will stay open for an extended period of time just for those hard ticket guests. And those after hours tickets start about $135, and the party tickets start around $159.
Now keep in mind that all of these add-ons are not created equal. So we just heard back from those that experienced the very first Jollywood
Nights.
And disappointing. All the reviews are disappointing, not worth the value at all. In fact, it seemed like it was very much just throw a piece of garland on a piano and call it a night. Everything was the same. The music was the same. Nothing was like outside of the norm. It just was literally an upsell that offered no value at all. So we hope that they're gonna take the hint and make some changes there. But keep in mind that not all of these parties are created equal. Now, Lise, you know these parties. Which of these would you kind of put in your top 2, top 3 list of experiences that are worth the value?
Yeah, so either one of your Mickey's Very Merry or your Mickey's Not So Scary parties are gonna be really fun. They're gonna have characters that just come out for those parties, or kind of some of those rare characters. There are still going to be all of the rides open, but they're gonna have special parades and special fireworks shows just for those events. And then they have like the trick-or-treat areas for your Mickey's Not So Scary, and then they have the cookie trails for your Mickey Very Merry parties, where you get free cookies, free beverages at these different stations. And so that just feels like a little bit of a better value.
Which was also very disappointing, so we hear at
there was nothing
Jollywood.
There was nothing included in your ticket at Jollywood. Everything was an upsell, and everyone knew that going in. But it just felt like with some of the lack of attention that Disney's known for was glaring when it wasn't present. And so think about that.
It's the
it's the goofy
of the parties.
That's amazing. But with your after hours, I will say it is a bit of a like steep price tag, but you get unlimited beverages, unlimited things from your popcorn carts, and all the unlimited novelty ice cream that you want. Plus, it's a very capped capacity. And so if you are hoping to ride some of those headliner rides like Rise of the Resistance or Avatar Flight of Passage, and you don't really want to spend a full day in that park, that might be something where you go, you know what, I'm gonna cut off a park day and go to one of these after hours events, and it's all basically a walk-on.
Yeah, and like, again, Lisa's the Disney, she's all in.
I'm all in.
I'm not so much. And so for me, these things don't add the value. So if you're there and you're not a full-on Disney fan, again, I would save the money and not be a part of these kind of later kind of parties. And I like to be in bed by like 9:30, and so I can enjoy my vacation. And so those are just things to consider for you. That depends on how you kind of roll with Disney.
Yeah.
If you're a huge fan, you're gonna want to experience these experiences. If you're not, and you're just more about kind of having a great experience while saving, you know, some loonies and toonies, I don't personally see the value in these, but I'm not a big Disney fan, so that's just the way it all goes.
Yeah, so to recap, we really think your best bang for your buck, depending on how you're gonna do your vacation, is either just your base 1 day per park ticket, or that 1 day park ticket plus the water park and sports option if you wanna do some of those additional things outside of the parks.
Now Disneyland,
yes,
a little bit different.
It is a bit different.
You have the parks walking distance right across the Esplanade.
Yep.
And so what are you talking in terms of tickets there? Because they do have the one park day tickets, but they also have the park hopper. Is there maybe an argument to be made that the park hopper makes more sense at Disneyland?
My argument is, of course it does. I think, yes, it does. There is just something about walking right across the Esplanade. And again, if one park closes earlier than the other, you're not in a 30-minute bus ride to another park.
Yeah.
You are like 5-minute walk and like scanning through the ticket gates. And so I think it does make a lot of sense for a $70, again, for a 4-day park ticket in August, it's $70 more to do your park hopper option. And for me, it's not like an exorbitant amount of money when you can literally just walk across.
So keep in mind that $70 upgrade per person is for the entirety of your trip. And so that's not per day, it's the entirety of your trip.
About
just
15 bucks a day.
So about $15 a day. So, you know, I can get behind that on a budget standpoint because it just makes a whole lot more sense at Disneyland than Disney World. But what kind of park tickets do you guys get? We would love to hear what your strategies are. And have you been to the water parks? Because we haven't.
No, we haven't.
We are those people who just do the parks and we're just all about the parks. And so what's that experience like? Is it worth going? Is it worth the added $70? The ESPN Sports Center, I know you've been there, I haven't. And so I'm not really sure if the value's there. Would love to know what your thoughts are on that. Okay, so I want to take a moment though to advocate for you that are looking just strictly from a budget standpoint. You're going, why would I add 70 bucks to my ticket per person? I can do it cheaper. Here's what I would say. I would say, if you want to do the one day and you feel like you have too much time in the park, that is an opportunity to experience some new things. Maybe see a show that you haven't seen before. Maybe walk through some shops that you haven't walked through. Take a moment to breathe and look around without feeling the frustration of go, 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 getting in lines, you know, Genie Plus, all the things. If you feel like you have too much time in the park, see it as an opportunity, save 70 bucks per person in your party and experience some things in a way that maybe you wouldn't if you weren't just rushing around trying to hit all the rides. And so I think there's an opportunity there and you're saving some great money. So I always love saving money.
Yeah, and again, we don't believe that Disney has any half-day parks. We think that every park Disney has in both the East Coast and the West Coast can easily fill a full day.
Absolutely. And I think this whole half-day park thing comes from people who make a ton of content and are great. And we watch their content too, guys, but they're locals.
Yeah.
And so they have access all the time to these parks. So in some ways, when you have that kind of access,
you pick your favorites.
You pick your favorites, you do your thing because you're not trying to optimize anything. But for those of you that are traveling, you're saving up for, you know, a year or 2 years to go to the park, you want to optimize the experience. So I think if that's you, you could just do one-day parks, save the money, and have a great experience just checking out everything.
Yeah, we have a future video coming up about the hidden gems at all of the different parks. And this is a great opportunity to explore and find some of your own hidden gems. The things for you that you're like, it's not Disney unless I go get that snack or visit that location.
So if you want to see that, would you like, subscribe, hit that bell to get notified when we're dropping these videos? And guys, we're Maple Mickey, putting the magic back into your Disney vacation.